Did you know you have the power to change your life? It all depends on your beliefs. If you have limiting beliefs, you limit yourself. I'm Becky Beach, and I'm here to help you overcome your limiting beliefs so you can design your dream life. This is the Becky Beach Show. Oh, hey everybody, welcome to the Becky Beach Show. I'm Becky Beach, and joining me today is a self-care expert, Kim Mickelsen. I'm so glad to have you today.
Thank you. So excited to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, yeah. So I understand you have lots of self-care tips for busy moms that are starting a business.
I do. Yes. Self-care is so important and we kind of put it on the back burner, and I'm here to remind you and everyone listening and myself how important it is to practice self-care for your business. Yeah, for life in general.
Oh yeah, because if what can happen is you could end up sell yourself burned out, right? If you just neglect yourself.
Absolutely. Yes. We business owners we're creative, we're passionate, and we tend to work long hours. And before you know it, you look at the clock and you realize you haven't moved and you haven't had enough water and you had too much coffee. And
Yeah, I got my water here, so I'll remember to stay hydrated.
yeah, right. Got to remember to drink it. Yeah. So I'll be just touching on about 5 tips I came up with to keep things simple, and hopefully people could remember them, and we'll kind of go over them and get people thinking about how important it is to practice that self-care for yourself, for your family, and of course, ultimately for business. Yeah.
Well, before we get started, could you introduce yourself and tell everybody where you're coming from? Like, how did you get into this?
Yeah, sure. So I have been in the wellness, fitness, weight loss space for 24 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I did stop. I just had a moment in time where I stopped everything about 2 years ago. I closed my local business doors. Got quite a few people upset. Love all my ladies, and I do miss them, but it was just something I had to do. And I stopped my online coaching, and I still have a newsletter I send out, and motivating people, inspiring people, sharing recipes. I still love to do that. But
Mm-hmm.
actively coaching, I do not do that anymore. But instead, I really took a liking to creating content for myself when I had my weight loss and fitness business. But I realized, part of the self-care too, and pulling hair out and struggling with time management, that wow, this could be really something useful for other entrepreneurs in the same space as I was in. So I really loved creating content. And then that's what I do. I create healthy habits, wellness, fitness content for entrepreneurs in that space, or shop owners that need that content. It's done for you and editable. And yeah, so that's what I do now.
Oh,
My,
that's
my
great.
website. Yeah.
What's your website?
It's journeywithkim.net.
Journeywithkim.net. I'll make sure to put that in the show notes. You can always find the show notes at mombeach.com/podcast. That's where I'll have all the show notes. So you can find out more about Kim, and look at her website, read her content, because it's really nice. So let's get into those tips you mentioned before. Can you share them with us?
Absolutely. Yeah. So just my so self-care is the talk of the town. It's been talked about for quite a few years now. So we do hear about self-care. We know we're supposed to practice self-care. But like I said, business owners we're passionate. We have that drive, that motivation. We wake up, we're ready to put on that computer and go all day long and juggle family, our spouse, our parents, and life, possibly another job. So we tend to put self-care on the back burner, and that's just it's just so typical. I do it myself, so I have to constantly remind myself. That's probably why I remind others, because it helps me along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, business owners we're uncomfortably busy with tasks, deadlines, our to-do lists, family needs, another job. So we run ourselves ragged, and we have the hardest time with self-care like I said, because we're passionate, excited, we're on a mission to succeed. So we push ourselves. So the whole notion of having a business and being successful is in typically we hear do more, work harder, work longer. And I could even say, I can't remember who I heard this from. It was a TED Talk podcast a while ago. I was kind of thumbing through, and it was Elon Musk. It was a story about Elon Musk. You know, he's super successful with Tesla and everything he's developed. And he was saying you must work 80 to 100 hours a week to be successful.
What? Are you for real?
Like insane. So, but that's what he does. And, you know, we're not here to judge, and he's very successful. However, I think he's still only in his 40s. I'm older than that. And if he continues that, it's just not sustainable. You know, he's been divorced twice. He said that when he's with his children, he is on his phone and responding to emails nonstop. So, I mean, again, we're not judging. That's his life, but it's just not healthy. So the whole notion, going back to, you know, do more, you know, get more done, you know, you'll be more productive that way, work a million hours a week. It's just not doable for the long term.
No
It
way.
just wreaks havoc on the body, on the mind, on the spirit. It's just not healthy. So, you know, our level of anxiety can be an indicator of our self-care gauge. You know, how often do we feel anxious sitting at our computer? We're kind of can't make a decision anymore. We're end up not being productive. We're sitting there, end up thumbing on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and then the anxiety could start to creep in on us, and that's like, ooh, it's time for some self-care. So that's kind of you know, just we'll touch on exactly what self-care is and some tips to help keep you motivated. So when we hear about self-care, what do we think of? We think of automatically, most of us think of manicures, pedicures, facials, bubble baths.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Yeah, I mean, that's all wonderful. They're wonderful things. However, that's just a little part of self-care. You know, that's just a couple things that self-care could consist of. So self-care goes way beyond that, and it's not an indulgence. It's rather a discipline. So self-care is a discipline. Just like if we didn't have a business, we all know we're supposed to exercise, we're supposed to drink water, we're supposed to eat healthy. You know, we're supposed to. But when we add that to the business side of it, we have to realize that taking care of ourselves is ultimately going to take care of our business. If we're not practicing self-care, we're not practicing business care.
No.
So we kind of bring that back to the business. Self-care is having the mindset to care for your needs, your well-being, your mind, your body, your soul, and prioritizing your wellness needs so that you could be effective in your business building, and of course, tending to family and, you know, your life that you need to take care of things. So that's, you know, self-care is more than just a manicure and a pedicure. So now we're going to go into the 5 steps to self-care in running a business. And the number 1 is mindset. So we'll start with that. Because like business, right, Becky, you know, with business to be successful, you have to have the right mindset, which is the right belief.
Oh yeah, yes. Yeah, I never thought of using self-care as a mindset. That's new.
Yeah, you know, mindset is really with everything in life. So to be successful, you have to be successful in anything, you have to have the right mindset, right? So to be successful, or to practice self-care, your mindset is a belief. So you have to believe in self-care, that it's going to be and have a positive impact on yourself, your family, and your business. You know, if you don't believe that, or you don't even think about that, you just tend to not do it as much. What I would tell the ladies that were my members with my fitness, you know, I would always tell them that you have to, like, you have to believe that you're important enough. It goes back to the self-love, the self-care. Your
Mm-hmm.
health is important. It's not just something to do. It's something we have to do to just for our mind, body, and soul, which reflects on our business productivity. So when we run a business, we have to have the mindset or the belief that if we do A, B, and C, we will be successful. We believe in our business model, our product, or our service, right? So when we have a business, we believe in our product, we believe in our service, we believe in ourselves, hopefully. And we must believe in ourselves to successfully run a business. So the same applies to self-care belief. We must believe in what self-care is and how important it is, and understand why it's important. Healthy habits equal healthy mind, body, and ultimately a healthy business. So, understanding how important it is to practice self-care for our well-being. Mindset is simply a belief system, like I said, and adding the knowledge part of it pushes our mindset in the right direction. So, understanding, for example, we'll touch on this a little bit more next, but understanding that drinking coffee all day while we're working at our computer is going to dehydrate us. It's going to make us fatigued because we're dehydrated. But drinking more water throughout the day is going to hydrate us. It's going to wake us up. It's going to give us more energy and more clarity to focus on our business. So that's the knowledge part that goes along with being mindful. So the belief and the knowledge to practice the self-care to be productive in business.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean with the coffee. Like what I'll do is I'll drink a cup in the morning, then I'll just have it another cup, and I keep doing it. Like I must have drink like 3 cups a day. I didn't realize it was dehydrating me so badly. I'm sure a lot of people listening right now would think the same. Like they didn't know they were dehydrating themselves.
Right. So like 1 cup is great. It allows you to get more alert, wake up a little bit, have a little more clarity. But we tend to want to sip it all day. I don't know about you, but it's just nice to have that cup in hand.
Yeah, it's like
And just,
nice and warm, and
yeah, it kind of just goes with the computer. And yeah, I battle that as well. But again, having the mindset when I say to myself, okay, I'm not going to have any more coffee. I already had 2 cups. I'm not having any more. I'm going to switch to water and hydrate because it's going to help me be more productive instead of start going to sleep, dehydrating me and all that good stuff. So anyway, let's move on to number 2. So number 1 was mindset. Number 2 is practice daily self-care essentials. So I break that up with number 3 is kind of goes along with it, but we'll tackle number 2 as far as the essentials. So self-care essentials are unlike the mani, the pedi, the bubble bath. They're all wonderful things, but they're not essential. So what's essential would be exercise. Okay, that's number
yeah,
1.
yeah.
How many times do we sit at our computer and we look at our clock? Oh, it's been hours. Like literally, time flies. I don't know about you, but time flies when I'm on the computer. And I have every intention, like most of us, we'll start exercising after I finish this task or after I finish making this bundle. Monday, when this bundle's done and the deadline's done, I'll start my exercise regimen,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Monday comes and we have another task to do because we're creative. We love to keep going and produce more content or whatever we're doing with our business. And that tomorrow never comes. That Monday never comes. That, okay, 4 o'clock, I'll do it. It never comes because then the kids need us. They're getting off the bus. Dinner needs to be made. The spouse needs us, bath time, homework time, and we don't do it. So we need to do that. We need to set aside exercise. And, I know most of us have heard of like a morning schedule, that miracle morning. What is it?
Hal Elrod. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
Elrod.
yes, Hal Elrod. Great book, The Miracle Morning, and or he has the Miracle Equation, and I think it's the Miracle Morning. But yeah, that changed my life. Waking up early, finding that productivity time, waking up, even if it's 15 to 20 minutes earlier, and stretching, meditating, prayer time, journaling, whatever it is, those are essential for your well-being.
Yeah, this makes so much sense.
And even if it's just a little walk outside, or if you have a treadmill, because now the weather will be changing in parts of the US or wherever you're from, the winter comes, getting that, even if it's 15 minutes every morning, getting that walk going, the blood flow, it really helps with mindset, productivity, and happiness. You're happier throughout the day. You got your workout in. Water intake is an essential. We know that we need to stay hydrated, and being at the computer all day, it's easy to forget about drinking water and drinking more coffee
Yeah, it's
instead.
so true.
Eating healthy. How many times do we as moms, and my kids are older, they're college age, and then now one is older than that, graduated. But when I had the kids, I would make them something healthy, get on my computer, do my thing, and then I would grab, a bag of chips and rolled up like
Uh-oh.
so we kind of tend to be busy and we don't take care of our own needs when it comes to eating. So, of course, exercise, healthy eating, water intake, prayer or meditation, and of course, posture. When we sit at this
Oh,
computer,
uh-oh. I
posture is
gotta yeah, I'm not, I was slouching. Oh no.
well, I could tell you, Becky, I went to the doctor and then I had another doctor's appointment because of the head forward for all these, for years, head forward on the computer, causing pinched nerve, causing issues down the arm, then carpal tunnel issues, the whole, it
Yeah,
all,
it's terrible.
it is terrible. And because I wasn't practicing a self-care, routine with sitting at the desk, right?
Yeah, I'm like trying
Your
to
chin's
stretch out my
out.
back,
Yeah. So, doing all these things, these are the essentials for health, for longevity, for health in the long run. We'll be fine today, but we don't know about next week, next month, next year, or 5 years from now. And we want to be functional at our desk. We want to feel good. We don't want to have aches and pains and, be dealing with doctor's appointments when we could be working, right? So those are the self-care essentials that I like to categorize.
Oh, I just really love that because I need to get up early and exercise too. Because as I've been, like, I just came off of a 3 hour training. I was sitting at the computer for 3 hours doing a training. And I didn't even think to get up. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. You're supposed to get up every, how many hours do you get up?
Well, you should get up every 20 minutes.
Oh,
Every
really?
20
20
minutes, get up and
minutes?
stretch. Yes. So your hip flexors are the most overworked muscle because we're sitting, and you figure right where the crease is when you're sitting down. So you're never stretching that muscle. So we start to get hip issues, back issues, hamstrings get tight, the forward head motion. So our neck has that oh, what do they call that? Where the spine goes straight instead of the natural curve from the head forward and the shoulders forward,
Oh, wow.
which
No idea. It sounds awful no matter what it is.
doesn't it sound awful? It is. But these are the things that we need to care for it's the mind and body, and of course the spirit, just to stay healthy and whole as we have a successful business, being productive with family and business, of course.
Yeah, it's so difficult, because I got I have a 6-year-old child. He goes to school during the day, so I'm like here by myself, but I just work and work and work because I'm a small business owner. I don't no longer have a 9 to 5, so yeah, it is kind of hard to take care of myself. I'm just neglecting my needs.
Yeah, and that's very common. And we as caregivers and as women, we're natural caregivers, and we have a lot on our plate, and then we want to be successful with our business. Yeah, we tend to just put ourselves back there, and with your child, I'm sure you get him to his whatever ball games or appointments on time, and feed him healthier foods, but then with
Yeah,
ourselves,
yeah.
we tend to not think about ourselves like that. But yeah, so just waking up a little earlier. You don't have to wake up an hour earlier, just a little bit earlier. If you have your cup of coffee to wake up, your glass of water, get your, everything moving in your body and waking up, and then stretch and do a little exercise and a little quiet time, whatever it is that makes you happy, which will go into number 3, practicing daily self-care me moments. So the me moments are are things like the manicure, the pedicure, the facials, the bubble bath, the lunch with girlfriends, going for a walk, just doing things that make you happy. No rhyme or reason. They're things that make you happy. Um,
Yeah.
so Becky, let me ask you, what do you like to do? What are some things that your me moments that make you happy that are not work related?
Well, I just love to get these bath bombs from Lush. You ever heard of Lush? They're these beautiful bath bombs. They're like incredible. And you put them in the water, they just make the whole bath, a different color, and there's sparkles, and it's like a big bath full of sunshine. And I like to dip in there and just soak for like maybe an hour if I can. And but then I hear the knock at the door. I hear like knock knock, mama, mama, mama. So I'm like, oh,
It's time to get out.
yeah, it's time to
That's
get
true.
out.
My daughter does. Yeah. Those bath bombs are fun. I remember my daughter went through a phase of wanting them for every holiday. They're really cool.
Oh yeah, there's like
Yeah.
I got a pumpkin one recently, and I used that.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's really cool things.
Yeah. So that would be considered a me moment, self-care, a self-care me moment, I should say. So things that are not essential, like exercise and all that, that we really have to do to maintain a healthy lifestyle, but things that just make us happy and bring peace to our day. And we should be doing that every day. If it's 15 minutes, that's fine. If it's an hour, if it's the whole day, you take off or a week. I remember, I read an article. Again, I don't know who wrote it, but I remember hearing Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg. I know it was Bill Gates. He was saying for his success, now he's able to do this, of course, take off a whole week and go off in I don't know, wherever he went by himself, and just to have peace time and clarity. Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh yeah, I'm never gonna get that. I got a little 6-year-old tornado. He's not gonna let me do that.
Right. Yeah, no, that's extreme. But as far as like a success tip with your business, having that me time. I had a business coach years ago. Her name was Joy. And I remember she lives out, I want to say Arizona or out west somewhere. And I remember she was taking a trip to New York City at the time for 3 days. Her husband was like, go for it, just to have her peace and, her clarity. And so I just think that's so important. If you can do a couple days, that's fantastic, but most of us can't. So even if we, like I said, do something, a lunch with a girlfriend, a date night, but something that is your time, just totally dedicated to what makes you happy. Because
Yes.
ultimately that brings back to our business and it makes us just more productive.
Yeah, another thing I like to do is I got started in cricket crafting, on the cricket, and I don't sell anything I make. I just make it just for fun. Could that be self-care too?
Sure, absolutely. Yep. If you enjoy doing it, it's absolutely a self-care tactic. Yes. Yeah, good for you. Good for you. So yeah, it brings us to number 4, which is schedule dates with yourself in pen. So I like to say, and I used to tell my ladies at fitness this as well. So if you're going to exercise, just say 3 days a week, you're going to do, some cardio, and then you're going to do weights on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or yoga or whatever. Schedule it in your calendar as if it were an appointment with the doctor, because and put it in pen so you can't erase it and change it.
Yeah.
So that if you have a girlfriend that calls you and needs you, oh, Becky, I need you on Tuesday at 3:00 to help me move, are you available? And, typically we like to say yes to our friends and our family or whatever. And you'd be like, no, I have a date with myself. You don't have to tell them that. But you have
They'll go, what? What are you talking about? You lose your marbles again?
Right. But just to have that date with yourself and make it important, write it in pen as if it were a doctor's appointment that you cannot cancel. So that is your self-care in written down in your calendar, in your agenda book, that you just can't cancel. Because if we don't write it down and have that date written down with ourselves, chances are most of us will cancel, because we put everybody and everything before ourselves. So that's
so
just a tip
true.
that helps me.
Yeah, I like the idea of having a self appointment. I really like that. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And just, making yourself priority. You can't cancel. Put it in pen, and that's your appointment. And again, you don't have to tell your friends anything, that you're going to whatever you're going to go do. But, and especially with exercise, we find that, exercise is just so, you either like it or you don't. Most of us don't enjoy it. I guess we enjoy walking or whatever, and we enjoy the results. But to actually go, oh, all right, 4 o'clock, I got to go exercise. We typically don't say, yay, I'm going to go exercise right now, right? Most of us anyway. I'm
Hmm.
sure there are some people that love it. Um, so yeah, when you have that calendar, like with work, when we have our business and we wake up and we look at our to-do for the day and the first, three things that are the most important things we want to tackle, we have to do that with our self-care as well. So we have to say, what are we doing today? Okay, at 4 o'clock, I'm going to exercise, or I'm going to yoga class, or I'm going to stretch, or I'm going to walk, or I'm whatever. That's something we have to do. No and ifs or buts. It's just like your business. You have to get it done.
Yes.
Just like your family functions, you have to get them done. You have to do that for yourself. And that goes back to the mindset and the knowledge of the benefit that it's going to give you, which circles back to the productivity of your business.
So what would happen if you just decide not to do self care? Like what do you think would eventually happen? You just get burned out and stressed out, or because this is why it's
Yes,
so important.
yes.
Because you got to think about what would happen if I don't do this. Because if
And
you
that
think
comes,
about consequences.
absolutely, absolutely. And that comes to number 5, which is practicing the pause. So I like to say practice the pause. With owning a business comes burnout. I think we all could agree with that. It's exciting. We're passionate.
Hmm.
We, could go for long hours. We could work probably harder and longer on our own business than we can in a corporate business or for somebody else, right? But when we don't practice the pause and relieve ourselves from that burnout, it just, we get anxiety, frustration. We can possibly take it out on family and friends just out of frustration. And I could say, I opened up an email, and you may have as well. I'm not sure if you're on the same email list as this person, but they were talking about having a business and just being so overworked. And it was one of those emails just with the authentic story. It was a really great email. And she was just talking about how she's had an awful day, just and she's the sweetest person ever. And she does kind of, the whole printables and content creation. And she just had such an awful day, yelling at the kids. Everything went wrong. Come to find out, she's just overworked. And she's been doing a lot of, content producing, coaching, and this, that, and the other, because we're so passionate and we're so excited and we have these deadlines and we want to be successful and we see the success starting and we want to
Yes.
continue because we don't want to lose our mojo.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
so true.
yeah, yeah. So when we overwork, we burn out, we get anxiety, we get frustrated, and we take it out on others, not meaning to, of course. So that was interesting, an email that came throughout the week on that topic, and it was interesting. But I like to say and to remind people the power of the pause. So throughout the day, take those mini pauses. So, it should be at least every 30 minutes. It really should, just to get up, to go stretch. I purposely leave my water. Now, today, because we're doing this, I have it near me, but I leave it in the kitchen. I'm sitting in my dining room, and I've been working in my dining room lately. But I leave it in the kitchen because it makes me get up. It makes me pause. It's my, I have that intention of pausing. I drink my water, I stretch, maybe walk down the hallway a little bit, open the front door, get some fresh air, and then I sit back down.
So do you have like I have a timer, so I could probably set my timer for every 20 minutes, and then I can get up and stretch and stuff, like do time blocks.
Yes.
Is that what you
Yeah.
do?
I have done that. I have done that before, yes. And there's, I don't remember the name of it. There's like a website that you could go to and set the timer, and then it'll chime. Can't remember the name of it. This was years ago. I used to do that. But yeah, but now my thing is my water. I leave it up there. And so every 20, 30 minutes I get up and I chug my water, stretch and all that. Yeah.
I
Yep.
have an Apple Watch, and it also tells me to, like, it'll ding, and that means I got to get up and stuff like that. So that's also pretty helpful.
Absolutely. As long as you pay attention to it and don't just get
Oh
lost in
yeah. I'll just
what
ignore
is
it.
this?
I just ignore it all the time. I need to stop. Yeah, because I'll just
It's
sit
easy
for
to
long
do.
periods of time, and I just won't get up. I'll just sit and sit and sit. And I heard that's bad for your heart. Is that true?
Yes. It's bad for your body overall. It really is. And right now, Becky, you may feel fine, you may feel healthy, you may feel strong, but it won't sustain. It will not continue. Sitting for long hours wreaks havoc on the body, inside and outside. Like I said, the posture alone. We can't possibly sit
Okay,
like
get my
this
posture back
all
up.
day,
Yeah, I
right?
was
Right?
slouching again. You got to tell me.
We can't possibly sit like this nonstop. We can't. We're shifting, we're doing this, we're whatever. So we tend to do this again. So by getting up and moving and opening your arms. So this is really
Okay,
good for people that do this all day. So opening up the chest. Yep, opening up the chest. And I'm going to do this. I send pictures of this to my kids. We Snapchat, and because there are ones in Philly and Philadelphia, and ones in Maryland by Baltimore. So we always Snapchat. So I tell them to do the chin tuck. I don't know if you can see me on the video. So we're like head forward on the computer. So doing your chin tuck. So for
chin
example, if you
tuck.
take,
Yeah.
yes, like, well, chin tuck this
Okay,
way, and it helps with the spinal alignment. It's so important,
chin
trust
tuck. Oh
me.
yeah, I do. I do feel my spine. So what I'm doing is I'm tucking my chin, and
So
I
look at
do
me. So,
feel.
so you don't look down though. It's really just pushing in. So instead of forward, it's pushing in.
Oh, I see. Oh, my back is like I feel my
Yeah.
back. I need to stop sitting so much. I just sit way too much.
See that? And that right there is your mindset and the knowledge, putting it together of how important it is to practice this particular self-care. So
Yeah,
that's
I've
good.
been spent like $1,000 on an uplift standing desk, and I never make it
Mhm.
stand.
That would be a good thing. I often think of that as well. And we have a small house, so I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, where am I going to put it? But yeah, that's a great idea to stand and work as well. Yeah, definitely. But so regular breaks. So rest is the secret to success. Resting the mind and resting your body from the position of sitting. It's all just a recipe for success. So rest equals success. We think of that. And rest could be anything. It could be something that makes you happy, going for a walk. Once you've completed your exercise, you feel good about it. You're changing your mindset when you need clarity. It all is self-care, and it all helps with productivity for sure, and health. Of course, we want to be healthy for our family, because that saying, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. But if mama ain't practicing self-care, mama ain't having a nice, productive business, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely, 100% true. Wow.
Yeah. So regular breaks can restore motivation, prevent decision fatigue, and increase productivity and creativity. So yeah, so that was number 5, and that's pretty much my tips for self care.
Oh, this is like really awesome. Like I just learned so much. Like I have been neglecting myself, but it's weird because I'll tell my Mom Beach audience that how to do self care, because I'm really like an evangelist for self care, but then I don't do it myself, so I'm not following my own advice. I need to start like using that self care planner I made. I don't even use it myself. I have other people use it.
Yeah, I completely understand. I mean, even having my business where I was, actively coaching people with exercise, self care, everything, eating healthy. We do challenges. I would put myself on the back burner, and I wouldn't do what I was preaching. And it's so easy it's just so easy. We get busy. We are passionate about what we want to do, and we're just we have that tunnel vision of success for our business and nothing else matters. Of course, our family matters and we know we have to take care of them, but it's so easy to neglect ourselves. So yeah, get that planner out, fill it out.
Oh, oh
Start
yes. Yeah, you're definitely right. There's like,
yourself.
yeah, it seems you're supposed to do the hustle. That's what Gary Vaynerchuk's always saying. He's like, oh, you got to hustle, hustle, hustle. And I bet he even opens up his phone when he's with his kids too, just like Elon
Right?
Musk does, you know?
Right? It's like, we want to be successful, but we want to grow old gracefully and be successful, right? We don't want to just have the short-term enjoyment with the success. We don't want to have ailments, aches and pains and be going to physical therapists and neurologists because we've got spinal issues and overweight and aches and pains.
Yeah, stretch myself back. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but seriously, we really have to do that. So listening to your body, doing things often that make you feel good and feel happy, um, and more productive, and creating and keeping boundaries, of course. So penning yourself in on your calendar, and basically your self-care habits, your finances, and your business can all intertwine. So, changing the way you think and feel about your work, how you use your time, it takes time, but it's the mindset and just baby steps. That's all.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty simple. You just got. I like my favorite thing that you've said today was like getting like a pen and writing in a calendar date, and that's your self care time, and you treat it as a doctor's appointment. I really like that. I think that's really going to help a lot of people listening and watching.
Yeah, yeah. You can't cancel on yourself. You're important. We need to realize that we are important, and what we're doing is important, just like our family is important. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so many moms. They'll just put themselves last. But you got to put
Yeah.
yourself first, because if you're ever been on an airplane, like the stewardess goes, that what is that thing called, like a breathing mask. You say you got to put on
Yeah.
yourself
The
first.
oxygen.
You put
Yeah.
on yourself first, and then after you put it on yourself, then you can start helping other people and putting it on them. But as moms, we always forget that we got to put our mask on first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And we're pulled in so many different directions. We want to be great moms and do for our children. We want to care for them, make sure they eat well and they have their activities, excuse me, and all their things going on. And we want to have special time with them, quality time with them. And then we have aging parents. We're taking care of our parents. We have our spouse, our significant other, whatever. And then there's just not enough time in the day. So again, self-care doesn't need to be all day long. It just needs to be routine. It needs to be, daily for sure. It could be 15 minutes. Like I said, it could be 30 minutes. It could be an hour or longer. But we do need to practice it daily. Absolutely. Yeah. And we'll notice too that there is less anxiety. We are maintaining our creativity. We're getting a mind block. Power of the pause. Just pause. Go just do something else for, even if it's for 20 minutes. Come back refreshed. It's so easy to constantly think of work, constantly think. We have creative minds, right, Becky? Don't you ever think of, you're just always thinking of the next
Oh,
thing?
yeah, yeah. Last night I was up until like 2 a.m. because I was just thinking so much about stuff I wanted to do today. I was thinking about like this actual talk we're having. I was thinking, oh, I hope that lady's good. Hope she is really talkative and doesn't leave me hanging and stuff. So I got to do all the talking. So I was kind of worried about that. So I was just thinking
Yeah.
about that stupid stuff, like all night. And then finally at 2 a.m., like I said, gosh, what am I doing? So I listened to this meditation on YouTube, and it helped me, go back to sleep. It was really good.
That's good. Yeah. You know what I find too is I call it, and I've heard this before, this is not my term, years ago, listening to a podcast probably, but a brain dump. I don't know if you do brain dump. So I have an app on my phone, and it's like the to-do app. I have an Android phone, and I have a brain dump folder in the app. And anytime I think of something, or whether I'm driving or not, I'll just voice text it to myself or whatever. And but right before bed, I try to do a brain dump. I don't always do this, but I know it does help when I have done it. So it's kind of like an evening self-care practice. So at night before bed, of course, it's good to turn off all electronics and have that clarity without thinking of work. And even if you journal, have that brain dump of whatever's on your mind, whatever you're worried about tomorrow or whatever, because we know when we wake up in the middle of the night to get water or to use the bathroom, then we're up and
Remind me again, get some water.
There you go. Cheers.
Yeah, I can't forget.
Everything's magnified in the middle of the night, right? The world's ending. We're worried about our kids. We're worried about work. We're thinking of work. But keep a notebook, like something, a piece of paper next to your bed. And even if you have to just jot down what's on your mind, and that'll clear it out of your mind. And then you could rest a little easier. I noticed that helps as well. So brain dump before bed and keep a journal next to your bed so that when you have those in the middle of the night moments, you just jot it down. Because we know in the morning, I never remember what I was thinking of. What was so magnified in the middle of the night, I can't remember in the morning. I don't know about you.
But I have terrible handwriting when I'm really tired. Like, I'll just write and it look like chicken scratch. And I'll say, what the hell did I write? Like, I wonder if that would happen. Because I don't think I could write legibly when I'm really tired. Maybe we could do like you can like record your voice or something too. There's like a voice app where you can record memos and stuff.
I mean, sure there is, but even if you write chicken scratch and you can't read it in the morning, the point being is you're dumping it out of your brain at that time, which gives you that peace of mind to rest and go back to sleep.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. So it doesn't really matter if you can read it the next day, the point is to have it like out there of your mind, 'cause you're like dumping everything out of your head onto paper, or even if you're doing like the voice, like I was thinking you could do. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So just being consistent with it. Yep. And ultimately, it brings back that productivity with our business. And when we're happy with our business, we're happy. We're happy.
Yes, I find myself sometimes I'll be like yelling at my kid, just because I'm really stressed and irritable. I bet a lot of moms feel like that, and because you just find yourself doing that. And I was thinking maybe I'm just not getting enough self-care, so I'm like taking out my frustration on my child and yelling at him for the stupidest things, like just leaving dirty dishes or spilling like some milk. He spilled some milk in the kitchen. I was like, "Why'd you close?" And I can't believe I did that. I just feel so embarrassed, But
yeah.
That's how it is.
I've done the same thing. I think we're all guilty of that. Most of us are. Yeah. Again, we're on a mission. We're working hard, and we're trying to accomplish something, and we get distracted, and we're trying to juggle. And we're human. We're human beings. We're not meant to be perfect. That's for sure. And so every once in a while, we have those moments, and I'm the same way. I like to say too, we have those peak moments. I'm not sure if I touched on this. So with our productivity, I don't know about you, but my peak moments are earlier in the day. So I don't know if it's the coffee in the morning, but I'm alert. I'm super productive in the morning. I love getting up. Like my ideal time would be 5 o'clock. Sometimes if I'm not sleeping well.
5 o'clock? That's too early for me.
If I don't get up early like that, I'm cranky. I feel like I wasted my morning. I didn't do my morning routine. So I help my husband. He has a home improvement business. So I help him with that sometimes when he needs me. And he has to be on a job at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I get so cranky because that is my peak time after I've had my coffee. I've done my morning ritual. And then I dive in, say 7 o'clock, I sit at my desk and I'm in full, productivity mode. I don't want to stop and go to work with him and do home improvement stuff.
Yeah, sounds kind of boring. I wouldn't either.
Yeah, and I'll be at work with him and I'm just like, oh, geez, like, do you want to just go home? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so having that, knowing when your peak moments are, so if you're a nighttime person and you're more productive at night, that's great. That's your time. Schedule your other stuff earlier, your non-work related stuff earlier. I am a morning person. I am not an evening person. I completely shut down at night. So I get nothing done. I literally could be like, sitting at the desk, nothing gets done. And then, of course,
Yeah.
having a glass of wine doesn't help, but but yeah. So having the peak moments and knowing when your peak moments of work and doing work then is great too.
Yeah, it's really awesome how you need to just know yourself. Like, how do you feel? Do you feel like getting up early? Do you feel like staying up late? Like, it's good to listen to yourself. Like, I really like that.
Yeah. Yes. Listen to your needs, your wants, what makes you happy. Because many moms, we do for everybody else. We don't do what makes ourselves happy enough. I'm sure, at times, but not enough. And we need to do for ourselves because ultimately it reflects on the family atmosphere and the business productivity and the overall successful life.
Yeah, it's like I was having an argument last night with my husband, and I was saying that women as a species should have like 4 arms and hands instead of just 2, because that just makes more sense. Because women do so much more. Like when he gets home from work, I'm expected to make dinner. Then I'm expected to have the house clean, and during the day I'm working too. So what's the deal with this?
Yeah, I know. But that's where the boundaries too, or yeah, what I like to do with so one of my breaks that I'll do, so if I have a couple of days where I'm home and I don't have to work with my husband and I could really get a lot done, I take my breaks. And one of my breaks, and sometimes I don't want to. I'm in the middle of doing something. I don't want to break. I want to continue. But I know I'm going to get burned out. I know I'm sitting too long. So I'll get up and I'll make dinner. I'll start preparing dinner. It might be like 2, 3 o'clock. But that's my pause time. I'm not thinking of work. I'm getting dinner done. So I'm being productive with the household. It's done. So that when my husband does come home and he's hungry, he comes home from the gym, whatever, he's hungry, it's done. And then I could go back to my activity on my computer or whatever I'm working on. But yeah, just practicing the pause to get stuff done is just something else we need to do.
Oh, I just been loving this talk so much. Like I've learned it's like an incredible amount of information about self-care like that I didn't even know about before. And my favorite thing was penciling in, what you're going to be doing, and I like the mindset shift. It's just been such an amazing conversation we've been having, and I'm just so thrilled that you were able to come on today, Kim, and share everything you know. Like you're an abundant of knowledge about this.
Thank you, Becky. I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on and being able to share some things. Yeah, we all need those reminders. Like I said, we hear about it all the time. We create content about it, but we have to implement it. We really do. And that's, again, where the mindset and the knowledge about the benefits comes in. Yeah.
So again, Kim's website is journeywithkim.net, and I'll have it in the show notes at mombeach.com/podcast. And again, I'm just so happy to meet you, Kim, and I'm so glad you came on today. And hopefully everybody else has been enjoying this conversation too. It's just been great. So again, go to mombeach.com/podcast for show notes.
Great. Thank you so much, Becky. I appreciate it.
Oh, yes. Well, hope everyone has an excellent day. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Becky Beach Show. Please go to mombeach.com/podcast to learn more about my podcast and for show notes. If you want a 2022 free printable goal planner, please go to mombeach.com/subscribe. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a great day. Goodbye.